back to my latest 1000 IQ trap videos. So for those who haven't seen my previous 1000 IQ traps, this is basically where I send my leader across the map, kind of in a fishing sort of thing, trying to get someone to hit me as my leader comes back. So yes, like, it is a very dangerous trap. I do get hit all the time without my leader, so if you don't have high base stats, this is not the trap for you. Or if you don't have enough troops, because you will need the base stats, because you won't have your leader, your gear, or your what's called talent. So you won't have any of those stats, so all you have is your base research. So if your base research is low, you don't have max base research, is probably not the trap for you. So I was actually trying to do this during Wonder War, so I was just sending my leader through the Wonder here. Unfortunately for me, KW7 actually knew about my trap already. I had already trapped them a couple times, so I wasn't going to get them this time, unfortunately. They did put the full title on me because they saw what was going on. I think that's just to make sure that none of their members just goes gung-ho and goes for my leader at this point. They're trying probably letting them know, don't hit this guy, because I have trapped them with this before. So obviously some of them in the what's called in their guild knew what was going on. This is way before we actually became family with KW7. We are now in the KW family in the kingdom we're in. So we were currently basically family with actually YSF here, who obviously didn't realize what was going on. And yeah, I don't always trap in my guild, so sometimes they don't realize it's me. So he sent a 250,000 tier 2, followed up by another 250,000 tier 2. So unfortunately for him, he didn't see my message before I sent it, or he didn't realize what was going on. I didn't really have time to write a whole message again, so I was just like, stop, don't hit me. But unfortunately, he did hit me, and he lost the, what's called, couple 100,000 tier 2 on me. But it is what it is, so I can't always stop people from hitting me, even if they're in our family guilds or whatever like that. I can try and message them, don't do it, but I don't really have time, because they're usually when they're porting next to you. I mean, if they're sending it from far away, I can write a longer message, but they're porting next to you, you don't have much chance. And this is just a single troop march that the guy was going to send at me, so we'll get into the next clip. This is another one. My leader had just returned. This guy had probably seen it, so he is sending just a random march at me to try and get the leader. Like I said, a lot of these times they think I'm just an empty castle, so they're just trying to farm me. So he's sending, I don't know how many troops this was. This was actually a couple minutes after my leader had got back. So he's just sending a random like tier 2 march at me. So so that march obviously is not going to do anything. It was a really random, just like, here, I'm going to go try and farm this guy. Yeah, he did end up injuring 8,000 troops somehow. I'm not sure how that happened, but he did. Even with that random march. But here it goes. Here's another person. Oh, I think it's the same guy. Anyways, he's going to try a 250,000 this time, an actual attack. No, this is a different guy. He has pretty good gear, but he did not send his leader at me, so he ended up injuring 9,000 of my troops. But yeah, so it wasn't a leader hit. Unfortunately, a lot of these hits are actually tier 2 because people are trying to farm you. They think you're an empty castle, so they're just going to send random attacks. Sometimes they'll get the follow-up attacks where they send their leader because they're like, oh, I guess he must have troops. I'll send the leader, kill his tier 3 or whatever he might have. Yeah, he only, there was 9,000 tier 2, or tier 1 actually, sorry. Oh, I still have a trickster as my leader. That could be what's going on. My attack is a little lower with the trickster as my leader. I probably don't even have my war gear on at this point. My name's Farmer Fred. That's actually, and here comes the next, sorry, that was the next one. Now, this is DJ Wargear. Actually, he is now SFY Wargear. He is in our guild now, but this was an old clip. This was a couple 3 KVKs ago. Yeah, 3, maybe 4 KVKs ago. Maybe 4. Maybe 4 KVKs ago, actually. Just thinking about KVK happens a lot, so it was a couple months ago, but 4 KVKs ago. This was before he joined our guild, actually. So he's in our guild now, so he finally gets to see the clip. I had sent him this when he actually joined the guild, because I was like, I know your name from somewhere. And this was it. He ended up falling for the 1000 IQ trap as well, so I think I was doing the same thing in... Oh yeah, so no, yeah, see okay, this was a different 1000 IQ trap. This is what I do in KVK a lot. I'll have my ult with my leader next to me, just sitting there, no anti-scout, nothing, with maybe a couple thousand troops out, just so people want to come hit you for the points. So I'll give people free points, but the leader will walk right back to my castle, which is next to me, and then the person will actually try and come get that, and they'll end up losing their march. So this is what happened. He ended up injuring 163,000 my tier 1 and 44,000 my tier 2. So it was a good hit by him. He has better gear now with familiars and all that, so he hits much harder, but back then, that's all he could do to me. I was actually in the right phalanx and all that stuff, so I was able to counter that attack. And they decided to try and rally me after that. I was hoping for a gangbang. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. They decided instead they're going to try a rally. They must have saw how little I dropped from his hit, like might-wise, because, yeah, it was mostly a tier 1 drop, plus a little bit of tier 2, so I didn't really drop that much might. So I was, like, getting ready for the gangbang. I wasn't sure if they were actually going to rally me, if they're doing a fake rally and they're going for the gangbang, so I was getting the resources out just in case, because I usually actually sit in infantry phalanx if it's a gangbang. Usually, because if you get hit by range in cav phalanx and you can't by like a bunch of people, it can do a lot of damage, because for some reason range does more damage to cav than cav does to infantry. I think it's just how the phalanx is set up. I think it's just because you're in cav phalanx, your infantry is in your back, like all the way back, so it starts doing damage last, so you end up taking more damage from range. I believe that's it, or range just does more damage. Whatever it is, I won't usually sit in cav phalanx for the gangbang attack, but yeah, so I was thinking they were going to port around me and actually do it, but they ended up not, so I decided just to basically take my castle and leave out of there. Yeah, so I decided to just basically switch kingdoms, because you can do this in KVK. If you ever capture a leader, there's no way they can get back unless they can solo you, because all you can do is just literally just cancel the rally, especially in one of these 3 ways, because they're in Fury, so it's going to take them 50 minutes before they can even switch kingdoms to come set another rally, and even if they send more people to set a rally, you can go to the 3rd kingdom, and all of a sudden they can't set the rally there. And then for me, actually, I would just basically take the rally if it's a small rally, but so this is actually really funny. This is during the same KVK. This is BJ, this is DJ's basically family guild. What was happening was actually I was trying to set up a 1000 IQ trap, and this guy decided to port next to me and hit me while I was setting up. So I haven't even set my leader back yet. I don't have my leader. My leader is still on my alt, which I'll show you probably in a second here. He ended up injuring about as much as Wargear did, but I didn't have my leader for this attack. I did have my leader for Wargear's hit. So he's not quite as strong, but he does have really good gear. You actually saw his gear there. That's quite decent gear for that. But yeah, that was my alt over there. It actually has my leader at this point, so that was actually, yeah, so he's got gold and mythic gear. So he's got quite good gear. 375 blast, or was it a blast? Or 375 attack, sorry, I'd like to say, but yeah. I was going to tell him I didn't have my leader, but I didn't want to mess it up because I might get more attacks, and I didn't want to take a gangbang without my leader, so I just made him think that I still have my leader, because I was thinking about, should I tell him I don't even have my leader and then have a bunch of people try and gangbang me while I don't have my leader? Not that he'd even believe me that I don't have my leader, because I was able to cap him so easily. He's like, wow, really good job. Usually, this is what he said to me, I don't usually get capped by traps. You're one of the first ones to do it. And I was like, I didn't want to basically break his spirit saying I didn't have my leader, so I just left it as it was. So anyway, so this is actually the last clip here. So this is actually interesting because this is not something you usually see. People don't usually speed up towards you with 250,000 tier 2 in their leader. So this is a really, really interesting clip. This is basically kind of shows you how interesting the trap is. They really don't believe you have troops, because who would send 250,000 and their leader and not be in their war gear or anything at a castle without having a scout on it? I don't know. For me, I would always want a scout. If I don't have a scout, I'd send an actual attack, because you're going to lose your leader here if you do it this way. So he is sending heroes in it at least. He is not in his war gear or anything. He has his speed up gear. He's basically trying to farm me here. So he's speeding up and bam, he comes in and yeah, he loses his leader. So he was probably confused for a couple seconds there going, oh, I guess he had some troops. Because, like you said, usually a trap doesn't basically, it doesn't happen this way, because usually it's like, what? Traps don't lose their leaders because they don't attack people. If they lost their leader, they're empty. So I love it. It's really confusing. So the guy's like, now he's going to scout me. He's like, huh? I guess I lost my leader. I guess he had troops. I didn't even drop any might because he didn't get through my wall either. So I have a trickster as leader as well. So I use the trickster as basically just like, hey, I'm not really a trap or anything. Come get me, blah, 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 like that. So that's basically what's going on here. So what will actually happen here is a couple things. Either they'll try and solo you. Well, this guy won't because he lost his leader. But maybe someone else try and solo me to basically try and release the leader because they don't actually know what I have. Other than the fact that I didn't actually drop any might, so that could be why they won't come and solo you, because they're like, oh, he must be really strong. So here comes another attack. He is sending siege. So you must think I'm a wall trap, because he must have thought, oh, I got trapped on his wall, so I'll go destroy his wall, and then he must be empty, and nope, I was not empty either. So that obviously didn't work. I think because that one didn't work, they decided, see, you actually get a lot of follow-up attacks like this, because they're like, oh, maybe, whatever, I didn't send a big enough attack, so I'll send a bigger attack this time. So they're going to send a follow-up attack here. Or I was wondering if they're going to do a gangbang on, this guy's in, like, whatever, it's some weird gear, he's merging gear. But yeah, so, yeah, there's the rally. So that's what's basically going to happen. Okay, they know I have troops now, because I'm obviously not just a big wall, because they didn't get a walk back. I guess if I was a wall trap, they might even get a walk back with siege. I'm not sure how that works, because I've never actually ever done that anyways. So, like, I haven't actually used a wall trap, so I don't know what they're actually strong against, because would siege actually get a walk back or not? Because, anyway, so I decided to port away and basically fake like I'm trying to evacuate my castle. So I'm just basically trying to get the other guys to waste ports at this time and just port to my my one troop marches and think I'm actually evacuating it. And sometimes you get solo attacks on this because I think they're evacuating a castle and they're like, oh, I'm going to solo attack before it. If I was fast enough, I could actually, I misclicked there, so I could have recalled. I didn't recall in time, so this is going to tell them they're one troop marches, so I wasn't quite ready, but this guy's wasted 3 relocators now. Will he waste a 4th one? And that guy doesn't even have his shield on, so interesting. You can't take the march if the shield is on. So I'm going to keep doing this, see if I can waste more of their relocators. I'm going to end up shielding the rally. I'm not going to take this rally. It's not something I would do. They might realize now what I'm doing. I'm just sending one troop marches, but the guy wasted 3 relocators before that happened, so it was kind of funny. So anyways, so yeah, I guess they're porting over there, so and he's going to scout me, but they should realize by now I'm not actually sending out real marches here. I'm just sending out one troop marches, so I don't think they'll waste any more. I mean, that guy wasted another relocator. I guess they're not talking to each other, but so I'll actually shield before the end of this. So yeah, before we do this, because this is just gonna be a bunch of people wasting relocators. Yeah, see, they're still wasting them. I don't know what they're thinking, but yeah, there you go. He's gonna report over there. Oh, and he's gonna get the one troop. Good. I hope that was worth your relocator, the one troop. But yeah, anyway, so the top 5 traps of the week. I do have almost enough clips, so if you guys have any clips and you want to get it in as quickly as possible. I'll be doing that in the next couple days, getting that video out. That will be very soon, so please get your submissions in. Yeah, the monster hunting what's called guild that we use, the bus, it is on hold until after Guildfest. Obviously, people can't leave their guilds in the middle of Guildfest to go to a monster hunting bus, so if you guys want a good monster hunting bus, just let me know. I'll leave. Oh, usually I put the what's called link in the description. Yeah, I'll leave the ID, like the line IDs for the monster hunting bus in the description. Last thing is, if you do buy accounts or anything, make sure you use a middleman, because middlemans are the best way to basically buy accounts. Because basically you have less chance of someone scamming you. So always use a trusted middleman. I'll leave someone's what's called thing at the end here as well, and that way you can actually get a trusted middleman that's actually good. So they are about to rally me. I'm gonna hit the shield before the rally even starts. I've had some bad experiences with lag and stuff, and I'm not gonna take the rally, but here's the shield. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.